So a little bit about the company. We're an international team of about 30 researchers based in Prague, working on a $10 million investment from our company CEO. And we have two areas of focus in the company. So on the one side, we are working on AI development, more specifically general AI development. And on the other side, we are interested in what the technology that we're trying to build means for everyone else, what it means for society in the short term, but also in the longer term, if we do actually manage to achieve strong artificial intelligence or general artificial intelligence. So this is our mission that we're working on. We're trying to develop general artificial intelligence as fast as possible. As you've heard, there are a number of difficulties getting there, but that's what we're working towards. And this is essentially in order to be more helpful to humankind and to better understand the universe that we live in. So today I promised to tell you a little bit about the future that we're trying to create at GoodAI, why we're building this strong AI technology. So what is the future we want to create? These are only a few of what we're trying to achieve. So we want to build a future where we have the opportunity to invest in science, where we can start to explore space. Essentially, as we see it, the technology that we have today is not sufficient to solve the greatest problems that we face. No one has a solution to global warming. No one has a solution to diseases that end lives. No one has a good solution or an affordable solution to space travel. And so we're trying to get to a future where all of these things are possible and more, essentially where we can solve all of the problems that we have today, but that we don't have the technology to solve. So what's the likely path forward? How do we get from today, which you've heard a lot about, to that future of space exploration, of ending disease, of solving our greatest difficulties? As we see it, AI is increasingly more skilled than humans at performing human tasks. Even if this progress is slow, this progress is moving forward. So where will this lead as narrow AI applications or specific AI applications become increasingly powerful or useful or intelligent? So the starting point that we see is that there will likely be a lot more automation in our economy and in our society. And so that's, as narrow AI applications grow, we'll start to be able to automate processes that previously we weren't able to do. And as we see it at GoodAI, is that this will likely lead to employers who start to prefer robotic or AI workers even to human ones. So imagine if you have a worker that never gets tired, never gets ill, never gets lazy, doesn't have other concerns other than to do the very specific job that it's intended to do. So we see that eventually this will start to become a preference or a strong preference in the economy, and again, further down the road, leading to increasing levels of job replacement. So I think in contrast to other, let's say, AI futurists or predictors, we're not saying that it's happening tomorrow or even in the next 30 years necessarily. As we see it, it could happen in 3 weeks, it could happen in 30 years, it could happen in 300 years. But with being a company that develops this kind of technology or is working to develop this kind of technology, we have a responsibility to behave and to act as if it could happen tomorrow. So looking even further down the line, as jobs increasingly are replaced, we see that the institution of a universal basic income might be a good solution to the problem of where people will get money in order to be able to live on. Even further down the road from that, we'll see that there will be less and less of a need to work in order to survive. People will have more choices in terms of what they do and how they spend their time. And eventually, we'll start to need to consider what kind of relationship we want to have with our AI technology, especially as it becomes increasingly strong or general AI. We'll need to decide if it's something that even humans want to merge with, or if we want to use our strong AI as a kind of trusted advisor. We will see. But these are questions that we're already starting to think about even today. So why are we building this kind of technology, and how do we want to get there? Okay, so this is the basic idea, is that general AIs will work so that you all don't have to. However, there's a number of difficulties along the path, and this is excluding even all of the challenges that we have ahead of us in terms of actually developing a strong or general AI technology. And we tend to look at it in terms of the risks presented moving forward from people, from governments or institutions, and also from the AGI technology itself, or artificial general intelligence technology itself. So in terms of people, we think it will be, well, one of the projects that we're working on now is to develop a kind of alliance or a kind of consortium where AI scientists and researchers can come together, especially those that are devoted more to general artificial intelligence, can come together to not only develop the technology faster, but also to ensure that the technology remains safe going forward. However, it's not always so easy to bring diverse people with diverse opinions together, so this is one of the challenges we face. In terms of governments and institutions, of course, we think that governments will play a strong role going forward in society. So imagine if governments are not prepared, if they somehow refuse to start instituting basic incomes, we might see something like happened during the Industrial Revolution. So for us, one of our missions is to start to open the conversation with governments and other institutions about the possibility of investing into AGI technology so that in the future they have the means to institute basic incomes or to take care of the people that they serve. And finally, you've probably heard a lot already about the risks of AGI technology and what it can present, right? There's been a lot of coverage in the media about this. So, of course, there's always the difficulties of robots executing slightly different orders than what the human intended the robot to do, but also that we need to think about essentially, again, the relationship that we want to have with AGI technology. Is integrating humankind and AGI technology in the future an option that we want? Would it fundamentally change the nature of humankind going forward? And so on, and so on. So I think this is the point in the presentation where I'd like to turn it over to the panel, okay? Essentially to open the conversation about how we can make this vision a reality. As I see it, developing artificial general intelligence technology is one of the most difficult challenges we face, but also as the technology progresses or moves forward, and whether or not that happens in 3 years or 30 years or 300 years, we want as many of the smartest minds in the world working on the problem together and thinking about the problem. So that's what I'm doing here today, and now I'd like my colleagues to join me, if it's possible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's first thank
Thanks.